That's me, Sarah, and I am on an epic Africa adventure. I started the adventure in Victoria Falls on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe. Then I followed the river upstream to Chobe National Park. Here we saw the most amazing wildlife. Next we moved on to the Makadikari salt pans in the center of Botswana. There once again we saw different landscapes and animals. From Botswana we went to Namibia, and after visiting Windhoek and Swakopmund, we departed on an incredible adventure in the Namibian dunes. Good morning! Today is an exciting day. We are leaving Chameleon Backpackers in Windhoek and driving all the way to the south of Namibia. This is my first time renting a car, my first time driving on the left side of the road, using a car with the gear stick on the left. Pretty much a lot of first things and a lot of things that are different to what I'm used to. But it'll have to work. First destination is Keetmanshoop. This is close to the Quiver tree forest, which is a place with very special trees and a beautiful landscape. So let's see how the first day of the road trip will go. I honestly felt like I was signing away my life when picking up the car. We inspected any prior damages thoroughly, and then it was time to get used to the car. After picking up our luggage, which was the perfect test drive, the first stop was just outside the city center. The first stop on our road trip is Heroes Acre. This is a monument which is built for the freedom fighters. They can be put to rest here, and also it was built completely by the North Koreans. It's a very big monument and it doesn't look like a lot of people come and visit it often. It's also quite a bit out of the city center. When we got here, the ladies at the entrance said that it's not clean at the moment because of the rain, and they are waiting for the wind to come and clean it, which in my opinion is a good way to go about things. It's not very well kept actually, and as you can see, there are a lot of free spaces still. One of the most famous freedom fighters is Hendrik Witbooi, so he is right at the top, but it seems like they are expecting a lot more wars and a lot more heroes because there's so much room still to put people. But yeah, anyway, this cost us 50 Namibian dollars to visit, and it's just a remarkable monument really. We continued our way to Keetmanshoop, and along the way we stopped at a supermarket for lunch. I had a sandwich with black pepper feta and a cheese biltong roll. Really nice. We arrived in the late afternoon. Good morning! We have made it to our apartment in Keetmanshoop, which is called Urban Life, and we have decided to stay here one more night as well. We are now going on a day trip to the Quiver Tree Forest and Fish River Canyon, which is the second deepest canyon in the world. When it comes to the driving, we made it here safely. I put on the windshield wipers a lot more than the blinkers because they are also on opposite sides. And actually, that the gear stick is on the left is okay. It took some getting used to the gears though. But other than that, I keep to my side of the road well. We have made it to the Quiver Tree Forest, and the road here was a gravel road, but it was a good gravel road, not too many bumps in the road. And we have gotten here and there's a cheetah as well. I have seen some beautiful accommodations behind me, and we are ready to explore this unique landscape. This is it. This is a quiver tree, and it's a very special tree. As you can see, the branches go up and there's lots of them in this area. I am now following the others through the trees. If you know me, I'm terrified of snakes, so I will only be following them, going where they have gone, because that's where I guess it's safe. Even the bark of these trees and just the leaves, I guess, they're so fascinating. They're so different to what we're used to. I'll show you up close. When walking through the forest, you can spot lots of different animals, like giant insects, lizards, dassies, and African ground squirrels. If you do decide to stay near Keetmanshoop, do consider staying at one of the accommodations or the campground of the Quiver tree forest. It is also known by photographers for its stars, so it's worth to stay the night. We then continued our road trip to the Fish River Canyon. After only a short while on the asphalted road, we had to take another gravel road. Along the way, we stopped at a gin distillery. Obviously, as a driver, I couldn't try the tasting, but my companions had coffee and a cake. Pretty much all of the road was a gravel road up until our destination. We have made it to the first viewpoint and the view is already incredible, but you have a couple more viewpoints to go to. So we've come from the direction behind me, and if you go to the right you can go to Hiker's Point. If you go to the left there's quite a few more viewpoints, and they say the best one is on that road as well. So let's go and find out. So this is Hiker's Point. It is where the people start their hike through the canyon. Visitors to the canyon can embark on an unguided 4 to 5 days Fish River Canyon hike. Overnight you camp underneath the stars. We then tried to drive to Sulphur Springs viewpoint, which is the one that they said was the best one. But we had to turn back after the first viewpoint because the car was not right for the road. Relieved to not have crashed the car on all the rocks on the road, we started driving back. We needed to have lunch at the Canyon Roadhouse because it was the only place we didn't need cash to pay. We had just spent all our cash on the canyon's entry fee, which was $150 per person and $50 for the car. But it was a blessing having to eat here. Just like in Solitaire, there were lots of old cars outside, but they were inside as well. The diner is an experience in itself. We had some game kebabs, spaghetti, and well, it would have been very rude not to get a burger in a place like this. We then made our way back to Kolmanskopf, where we arrived at around 6 p.m. Our favorite part of the ride was passing by this dam. Good morning guys! It is the third day of our southern road trip and we are on the way to Luderitz, which is a very picturesque colonial city on the coast of Namibia. Nearby there is also a ghost city which we will be visiting tomorrow, but today we are just going to have lots of fish and see the beautifully colored houses. We are having a picture break along the way and we've just filled up on gas as well. Very important. As you can see from the sign there, it says watch out for the horses. Well, in the south of Namibia you have wild horses, so this is the region where you can come across them. I am walking through the city center of Luderitz and I'm on my way to the viewpoint, which is up there, but I'm being blown away by the wind. Will I make it? Will I be blown off the top? We'll see. I'm sitting down because I am literally being blown away. But that's the city behind me. And the ocean. I shouldn't be up here now with this wind, so I'm going down. This is insane. You can see a lot of broken glass, so I guess this is a place a lot of people come to watch the sunset. Understandably. But yo! By the way, the lovely lady at the apartment complimented me on my driving skills, saying I drive like a man. Well, okay. Okay, so this is the Gruka house. It is one of the best preserved houses in Luderitz, which is typically colonial and considered a diamond palace. Apparently there's not always this much wind. The past couple of days have been calm, but today, whew. This church behind me is the Felsenkirche or church, and it's famous because it's on top of the rocks. This is also a very beautiful street with very colorful houses one next to the other. It is called Berg Street. I have made it to the Luderitz waterfront and you have some shops here, but also a restaurant and the best view, I guess, of the harbor. Okay, now that we have been completely blown away by Luderitz, there are a couple of things around that you can also visit. You can go to Agate Beach, and in front of it are the Penguin and Seal Island. And you can go on a catamaran cruise from Luderitz to see dolphins, penguins, seals, and much more. But all of that we will see as well in Cape Town, and we will see them even better. We will be going to Kolmanskopf tomorrow, which is the ghost city. I had the most amazing fish and chips at Dia's Coffee House, and they have lots of stuff there. It's a super cozy place. Aside from that, you can go to the Portuguese Fisherman, which is said to be one of the best seafood restaurants in all of Namibia. And I passed by this other cool place, which is called Barrels, which should be a cool pub and restaurant as well. We are staying in Villa Lodge, which is some apartments, and the host is super nice. By the way, when the host was giving me compliments on my driving, she was mostly talking about my parking skills, which is, well, that was my biggest worry when it came to being on the other side in the car driving, because it's a different way of estimating the size of your car. But apparently I'm doing great. Luderitz is such a strange place. Even arriving here, the landscape where it is located is so unreal. There's only dunes and rocks and really a desert-like landscape. So for the Germans to then say, hey, let's build a city here, doesn't seem very logical. But this area was rich in diamonds, which is why the Germans came to Luderitz and Kolmanskopf. And you can learn all about it in Kolmanskopf and also the Luderitz Museum, which is next to the Portuguese Fisherman restaurant. They were also cleaning the dunes off the road, because the road here is just coming through the dunes, coming through this amazing landscape. And there is a lot of wind, so the sand is obviously being blown onto the road. Good morning! It is day 4 of our road trip across the south of Namibia, and we have made it to Kolmanskopf, which is the ghost town near Luderitz. And first we are going to have a lovely breakfast, and then we are doing the guided tour. There is one at 9:30 and one at 11, on Sundays and holidays at 10, and I'm really excited. It's looking very promising. After breakfast, we started the tour. The group was split up into German and English speakers. Aside from seeing how the people used to live here, from the kitchen to their time off, we also learned about the diamonds that can be found here, how did they get here, and how did they mine them. If you don't want to go on the tour, you can read the information offered in the museum in the main building. Aside from the main building, the guide took us to see the ice factory, which is linked to the butcher who made use of the cold of the ice factory to keep the meat cool. After the guided tour, you can walk around and explore by yourself. Be careful though, you shouldn't enter each and every house, since some clearly are unsafe and can collapse at any moment. This was such an interesting tour. You really get information about the diamonds and the immense amount that there can be found here in the region. But also the way the people lived, how they made ice, how the butchery worked, even what they did in their time off, like the bowling alley. It's so cool to see, and I would say do try and go with the guided tour because you really get good information. But we didn't understand the guide very well. You really had to pay close attention. But I definitely recommend visiting this place. I have made it to the school. Look, there's lots of sand inside as well, but the doors are still hanging where they belong. It's still painted. The windows are still intact. This is such a crazy place. There's even a lavatory. a bit creepy though, especially because of the snakes. Let's have a look inside of the hospital. You do need to watch out if you're wearing sandals because there is glass everywhere. So watch out that you don't step into any glass. We then drove back to Kolmanskopf and stopped at Biltongplaats, where you can get homemade biltong, which is dried meat, and I had a homemade meat pie and ginger lemonade. Hey guys, we made it back to Windhoek, to the capital. Yesterday when we got back from Kolmanskopf, we had a new room at Urban Life. It was a really nice room as well, a lot bigger than the previous one, and it wasn't right next to the kindergarten or the daycare, because my previous room was right next to children playing in the morning, which wasn't so nice. But this room was a lot better. We then went for dinner. We had a traditional Southern African potjie, and it was delicious. We may have gotten dessert as well. And this morning we made it back to Windhoek, and that's the whole story. Wow. We have handed in the car with a full tank and no extra damages. Especially the last part was the most stressful. Getting back into the city, it was a madhouse. It's Friday afternoon and it was so super busy. Just dropping off the bags here and then getting to the gas station and then getting to the rental place. Oh my goodness. Just stress for those last moments, because so much could happen in the last moments, and also we didn't know if they would be okay with the way we handed it in, but luckily all is good. The car is gone, and it's just so much stress that is now falling off my shoulders, because it was a lot of responsibility to carry. And a lot could go wrong because it was driving on the left side. The terrain wasn't always as good. I did it. I can't believe I did it. I was doubtful until the very last moment on Sunday before booking the car if I could or couldn't do it. And it's stupid because if anything, Namibia has proven me that anything I put my mind to, I can do it, even if I think I can't, like the rental car or Big Daddy Dune, getting to the top. I am capable of so much more than I believe I am, and it's very motivating. And I bet so are you. Yeah, you're probably doubting yourself too much as well. You can probably do a lot more than you think as well. So yeah, if anything, let this video be a motivation to you that you are capable of a lot more than you think, and to try something new every once in a while, even if you think you can't do it. If you're wondering about the costs, I would have to check. I paid some, my travel companions paid some, and then we split up gas as well, and then we still need to get back the money that is held from the credit card. So I don't know if they are gonna still take any from that or not. Hopefully not, obviously, because we didn't have any damages, but I don't know. That is it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And the Africa adventure doesn't stop here. It will continue in South Africa. I'm so excited to go back to Cape Town. I still have a full day here tomorrow to edit all of these videos, and then I'm taking a 24-hour bus to Cape Town. And then I'll be there for 2 weeks, and I have so many amazing activities planned. And I can't wait. So if you don't want to miss any of those videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. And I'm probably also going to Ghana and Benin in Western Africa in May, probably. And then we'll see if the budget allows it to also go to Central Africa, to Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Uganda. Make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss any of that. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!